a lot of times I feel like people's stuff doesn't take off is because when they don't see things move right away, they quit or they part time it and they don't full time it. And it's a process every day to wake up and be a self starter and to make things shake, even when you don't see those results move right away.
But it's only one when it feels like all is falling. How do I reach out when I feel I'm all alone?
When I feel all alone,
How do I move on when you're the one I put my trust in? All you require me is only just believe, just believe.
I'm covered by your grace again. All washed up and cleansed from sin. No longer will the devil win. You've gave me victory. Welcome to the Art of Rebounding, where setbacks become setups and your bounce back is your breakthrough. I'm your host, Harold Lefty Williams, former pro athlete, motivator, and believer in second chances. Each week, we'll dive deep into stories and strategies built on positioning, persistence, and purpose to help you rise, rebuild, and reclaim your next chapter. Now, this isn't just a regular podcast. It's your permission to rise again, and this time with purpose. This episode today, I'm excited because we keep seeing each other in passing. We're at almost the festivities together, whether it's All-Star Weekend or maybe Summer League or whatever. But this guy is the air on the street, like the NBA insider. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's a television host. He is an executive producer, and like I said, an NBA insider. Welcome to the show, Scoop.
Brother, thank you for having me.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
I feel the same way. I think we met initially back during my CBS days
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in 2016.
Yeah.
I think social media.
Yeah. Social media. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. And so this whole show is about positioning. It's about persistence. It's purpose. It's rebounding. It's bouncing back. Some people think that it's a sports show, but it's not. It's just an opportunity to give people to bounce back and give them a chance to launch forward to, they call them what it is that they want to do. Scoop, take us to the other side of the mountain. People see the glory, but they don't know the story of how you got to where you are today, how you were able to, position yourself, box out all the opposition to land where you are today.
Well, I think it started with an obsession with basketball, but also my mom channeling this kid that likes to ask 50 million questions. Where does that go? This kid that likes watching the news, reading the newspaper. I like doing stuff older kids, like even not even the kids, like adults, like 40, 50, 60-year-olds. I would just sit up and watch the news all day. I was just fascinated with the way the world works, the production side of it and more. And I started, in a sneaker store. My family ran and operated a men's shoe store and a sneaker store, family-owned sneaker store in Harlem. So I was around sneaker releases as a kid. Hakeem Olajuwon, Spud Webb, Dominique Wilkins would all do sneaker releases in the store on 125th Street in Harlem. And so I've always been around that. But again, where do you channel all of that? So growing up, my mom would put me in public speaking groups in New Jersey and called the New Jersey Orators. I would do, just different things. And then I was obsessed with Michael and the Bulls. And then around, I ended up being around Michael and the Bulls during the Last Dance era Bulls team when I got my own radio show with the Nets at 12 years old, doing radio for the team. I was the kid host of their show. So I've always been around basketball, sports, news, entertainment in some way, shape, or form. But I think that, I guess that turning moment probably was that after I did that show for 2 years and went to high school and went to college and did everything I needed to do, that after I finished grad school, nobody would hire me. And it was to a point where I was living in my grandmother's basement in Jersey City, New Jersey.
I'm from Jersey City. Shut your front door.
Yes, sir.
What?
Randolph and Claremont Avenue in Jersey City.
Yeah, I grew up in Montgomery Projects, and then we moved to Crescent, right across the street from Lincoln. My wife went to Lincoln. I went to St. Al's, and then I moved up on the hill on Ocean Avenue. 109
So
Ocean Ave.
Ocean is down the street from Randolph.
Yeah. My aunt lived on Randolph.
There you go. So the foundations of Scoop B Radio, which is my own brand and imprint, started in the basement of my grandmother's house on Randolph Avenue in Jersey City. And at one point, I was freelancing in about 10 to 12 different publications at one time. I was living in the basement. I had a double door fridge. The freezer side worked like a refrigerator. The refrigerator side didn't work. I didn't have an oven. I cooked on crock pot, George Foreman grill, a juicer, and I didn't have an oven or a stove.
Mm.
And I was collecting food stamps, collecting unemployment off and on, and was, adjunct professoring. But I had the relationships. I always had the relationships. And I think that those years of living in her basement from 2011, 2012 till about 2016 created the foundation of the adult version of me and where I am now.
Yeah, because you out and about. You're a long ways from Jersey City, bro. A long,
Yes,
long,
sir.
long ways. And that's not a bad thing. It's just having the opportunity and not being afraid to bet on you, to believe enough in you and your ability. And you said something important, having the network, because your network is important. Your network, is your net worth. I can go through my phone and say, okay, let me call him, let me call her, and people know that when I'm calling, I'm not calling to be a liability. You know what I mean? And people rock with me, and I'm appreciative, and people rock with you. So
Yeah.
what's going on? I hope everyone's enjoying the podcast. Listen, I have a brand new hot honey that's getting ready to come out. That's right, you heard it right. Hot honey. Harold Lefty Williams hot honey. Listen, when flavor meets fire, legends are made. and this is what we put together. I've teamed up with Creative Fire Kiln and Kitchen, and we came up with the Honey Bee Hotness. This is amazing. Shout out to Creative Fire Kiln and Kitchen. Thank you for the opportunity to have this collab and have my own Honey Bee Hotness. For more information on this, go to honeybeehotness.com. honeybeehotness.com. Like, share, comment on this episode. Hope you're enjoying it. Now back to the show. What was the big break for you? What was the big launch?
As an adult, probably around the time we met when I was at CBS back in 2015. I did a show for 2 years there, and I learned the digital landscape, how to make things go viral, how to knowing what people want to read, knowing how to tweet things, and what the article headline that you write is different from the tweet that you put out, and how you distribute the interview that you get so that you see it spread out across the internet, knowing what blogs to send it to, what big social media accounts you send it to. I think those were the foundations, in 2015, 2016 when I was at CBS, and then, transitioning into managing editor and columnist at a hip hop magazine and called Respect Magazine. I did that for 2 years from 2016 to 2018, and then started getting information in the news space of basketball. And excuse me, predominantly at that time, this is, you talking about 2018 to 2020, largely around where LeBron was going after he left Cleveland and went to the Lakers, and then what Kyrie Irving was doing and him leaving Boston and going to Brooklyn, and then Kevin Durant joining him. And, I'll say that from 2018 on, my life changed quite a bit as far as my visibility, as far as my reach, as far as booking here and doing that. And,
Right.
It really started with LeBron leaving Cleveland, going to Los Angeles, and then following with Kyrie and where he was going, and just all of that Brooklyn stuff that was going on. All of that changed my life beginning in 2018.
That's big. What do you say to someone who is saying, man, I started where you started, but I don't know, or I can't see that climb that you were able to make. I'm willing to make it. I'm willing to make that climb, but I just can't see it, because it seems like you were able to see it. What do you say to that person?
The day you plant the seed is not the day that you bear the fruit.
Repeat that, because that's definitely needs to be a clip.
The day that you plant the seed is not the day that you get the fruit.
That's big. And so unpack that. What does that mean to the the single mom or the dad who doing everything he can, but he just can't see it. Unpack that.
Relationships are like part-time jobs. Um, I'll give you a perfect example. Um, I told you that my life changed in 2018 when I started saying where people were going. It was a series of events, LeBron and the Lakers, and I knew that to be true for a myriad of reasons. And
Mm-hmm.
then Anthony Davis got traded to the Lakers in 2019. I was talking about it in the fall of 2018.
You were.
Uh,
Stop. You were. You definitely did say that he was going to the Lakers. You did call that. That was very prophetic. Well, more than prophetic, but you called it. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, you're fine, but you also have to be willing to be laughed at because people can only see what they see,
Mm.
right? So I remember, for example, when I said that LeBron was going to the Lakers and I said he was taking a meeting with the Cavs to discuss XYZ, it was to the point where I knew when he was leaving I knew where LeBron was. I knew when he was getting on a plane. I knew the tail number. I knew whose plane it was.
Mm.
He was renting up, a lot of these guys don't buy private jets, but they rent or they exchange for different things. He was on a plane owned by the Jordache family.
Mm.
And I knew what time the plane was leaving. It was landing in Van Nuys Airport coming from Anguilla. And when he landed, I had tweeted about it. There was a whole bunch of people waiting at Van Nuys to take a picture. He went to his house. He met with Magic Johnson that night. The next day, he officially signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. Um, but the point I'm making with this and answering your question directly is that um, there were years that I had down years. I was paying my way to go to different cities. I was investing in myself, house money, money that could be used for myself or for various other things. I invested that money and that time into myself because I saw the bigger picture. I saw the staircase before the staircase saw me. And
Mm.
I feel like when you have youth, when
Mm.
you are not married, when you don't have kids, and when you have time and a purpose, um, they all have to align. And in my case, they aligned.
Mm.
Um, but I also had to find distribution and an
Right.
outlet to make my things move.
Right.
And so a lot of times I feel like people's stuff doesn't take off is because when they don't see things move right away, they quit or they part-time it and they don't full-time it. And it's a process every day to wake up and be a self-starter and to make things shake, even when you don't see those results move right away.
When you said that, immediately what came to my mind was there's a picture. I'm not sure if you saw it. There's a picture of a guy. He has like the pickaxe, and he's
I know exactly what you're talking about.
he's chopping away at the wall, and he doesn't see the diamond on the other side, but he gets tired and he stops chopping. And what happens is, like you say, they stop going for it because they don't see the fruit, and it's just they're tired, and then they walk away. And he was 1 to 2 more hits from landing, in his purpose, from being able to grab that diamond. So that's that. What was your the what was the season of your life where you felt like I I made it, I'm here, and I'm not going nowhere? Was it when you were putting out the story saying LeBron's getting ready to do this, LeBron's getting ready to do that, everybody's laughing, and you're like, LeBron's headed to, he landed in Van Nuys, he's going to Van Nuys, and then everybody's out there? Was it that moment? Because you had, like you said, you had boots on the ground, like, yeah, nah, I know what's going on. You had your ear to the street. Was that the moment you felt like, yeah, nah, I'm here, I made it? Or was it way
No,
before then?
no, I don't think I've ever been in a space where I felt like I made it because these seasons are temporary.
They are. That's true. That's a bar.
And I think I've been in situations where I've been on top. I've been in situations where I've been on the bottom. I've been in situations where I've just making it. I've been in situations where I barely made it. And I feel like you in this industry and this you have to consistently be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was at network television with a corporate expense card, I was using that to better myself, whether it was taking that extra meeting because I had the resources to do it, whether it was changing that flight and staying in the city later because you had to take that meeting because you wanted to learn something or you wanted to connect with somebody, and you're planting those seeds. And even after I'm laid off from that company, I'm still in contact and relationship with those people today. I think there's been triumphs, there's been opportunities where I hit a benchmark, but I still got to keep going. I'll tell you that I remember as a child headed to the Meadowlands Arena in the car in the back seat with my mama, us going over questions while she was on her. We were on our way to the arena, and I also vividly remember interviewing for that job at the time with Bally Sports Network back in 2021 after I left a previous place. And I remember leaving that previous place and not having a job lined up. And my mother, like, well, what are you going to do? You don't just leave a job to go somewhere else. And then waited a month and then later announced that I was going to Bally after I finished the interview process. And I got the job in March of 2021. I didn't announce it until May. I got the job. Remember, I got the job March of 21. I didn't announce it until May of 21. In July of 21, my mother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Oh no.
7 months later, she died. I bring that up because we saw that, even though she's not here anymore, we saw that process through. She got to see at the end what the end was and what we had been preparing for.
Right.
Which was network opportunities. Not only did she see that, she saw other partnerships with Spotify. She saw partnerships with a glasses company. She saw partnerships with, just a myriad of different things. But from March to 21 to February 22, she saw that even as she was transitioning. These are things we had prepared for. I think if there's any triumph, maybe that was probably it, just because we have been working towards that.
Right.
But as far as I made it, I still don't feel like I made it.
Right. Right. I mean, I've I often, because I also manage my children in this entertainment space, I often have to remind myself to take little peeks back through the rearview mirror, not to kind of, sit there and process the journey, but to remind myself that it's okay as a dad to crack that little smile and say, okay, yeah, and enjoy it, right? Because we often don't get to enjoy it, right? We just go, and so because I just think that I keep evolving. I don't think, like what you just said, I don't think I'm here, but I've had a lot of sweet moments in my life that I think it's okay to celebrate. Listen, I have a brand new book that's getting ready to come out. It's called The Art of Rebounding. It's about positioning, persistence, and purpose. It's going to change your life forever. It's going to help you bounce back, and you're going to be able to reclaim your next chapter. Join the waiting list today at theartofrebounding.com.
I think those moments for me, as far as the sweet moments, I remember, okay, so I started that job in 21 and I worked it from March 21 until August 23. I remember when my mother was diagnosed with cancer and I've never told this story. I remember sitting in the hospital room with her, and my mother was concerned about me traveling with COVID and with sitting in basically a petri dish in, what do you call it? In Coach. And her telling me, you need to start flying first class because I don't want you in the back catching COVID. And we didn't know what COVID was, and I don't want to make light of COVID at all. I have to put that out there because people can cut things the way they want. But
no, you good here. Listen,
but it's significant because I feel like my mother cleared me. This day forward, you fly first class, not only because of COVID, because you're 6'5".
That part.
And yeah, and I feel like when I after she after that moment, I ended up going on a trip after that, a month later, and caught COVID.
Wow.
And I didn't tell my mother. I was scared to tell my mother. So I ended up getting COVID anyway. But it was like that moment of talking to her in the hospital. She cleared me to fly first class. And for like that next year and a half, 2 years, that's what I flew on company dime because that's what my mother told me.
She set a mindset for you and set an expectation for you that most people don't have for themselves. And once you do it that way and you fly that way, it's, it's no other way. So I'm glad that she was able to do that for you. We wrapping this up, but before we do, I want to give you the opportunity quickly to give me your top 5. So usually I call this the Avengers or the special ops, the people who go in and they don't know how to lose. Is whether it's your top 5 greatest players, which I think is kind of, I don't really want to give you that one because you're in the basketball world so much. I don't want to give you that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a lifeline. I want you to give me your top 5 influential people who've got you to the place where you are. 30 seconds, go.
Iron Eagle. Chris Broussard.
Chris Broussard. Shout out to Chris Broussard. Shout out to his King movement.
Dang, 30 seconds. Iron Eagle, Chris Broussard, Jamal Crawford.
You said Jamal Crawford? Okay.
Kendrick Perkins.
You almost there.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie, another Jersey kid. And then
You said right?
yeah, I'm gonna leave. You left one off. You talked about her.
My mother.
Your mama. There you go. There you go. There you go. Shout out to mama. Listen, man, I appreciate you spending your time on the show. I hope that the listeners and the viewers, if you didn't get anything else from this show, today's episode, I hope what you did learn was that it's okay to bet on you. I hope that you did learn that once you put your foot forward and the other foot forward, that things begin to appear and things begin to line up, and you don't always see it right away. And when you're looking at this guy who knows what it's like to do network television, who knows what it's like to work for CBS, who knows what it's like to kind of be on edge with, do I say what I know? Let me go ahead and put it out there and say what I know and be right and be willing to be laughed at. You know what I'm saying? But be right and keep going. I promise you there's no other way to do this. Thank you so much for being on the show, bro. We definitely have to do this again. We got to do it live.